Boss. See the topic, man. Be careful trying to play with people who don't mind being to themselves. If you never heard that before, I'm happy to run that for you, right? So here's the deal. I understand that there's a lot of people who try to find somebody that they can get over on, play games with, because you got to understand, sometimes people get a high off of running games on people. Even if sometimes people don't mean to do it, there's some people out here who like to see if they can one-up other people. Let me see how I could play this person. It's just like getting a high type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me play you before you could try to play me. Some people have a messed up mindset. But some people take those little games and feel like they could run that with everybody. You cannot do that. You're going to understand that in life, not everybody plays the same type of games. And you cannot get away with something that you got away on Tom with Harry. You get what I'm saying? So example, when people like to try and run games on you, it's to see where they can extract something up out of you. You get what I'm saying? One of the worst games to ever play with any kind of people are people who don't mind being to themselves. You get what I'm saying? And one thing you need to understand is this, right? People who like to be alone, I'm speaking for myself. So this is a very, this one hit home. People who don't mind being to themselves, they enjoy peace. You get what I'm saying? They enjoy me time. You get what I'm saying? If they choose to let somebody in, that means that they wanted you to be there. It's not like they're begging you or they're needy of you or you're everything in the world. No, that's not what that means. If somebody chooses to have you around, accept that person. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't have to accept them, but understand that it's not as complicated as what you need to make it. If a person chooses to be around you, that means they're choosing you for a reason. If you choose to say, you know what, let me see if I could use this person to play with this person, that's going to actually come back to haunt you. Because people who are like that are very self-sufficient. And that's rule number one. People who like to be to themselves or are introverted or whatever the case may be, that means you like to be to yourself. So if you like to be to yourself, guess what? Chances are you rely on who? Just yourself. You don't really need other people. So I'm telling you right now, people who are like that are extremely resourceful. You feel me? In different kinds of ways. Whether they'll help you think from another aspect. Because once you're in solitude and you have that amount of time to think or time to yourself, that's time that you could use for whatever. Time for thinking, time for self-development. You know how to help people out with certain things that they may not see. You got to understand that people who choose to be to themselves don't mind being to themselves. It's not like they're people who enjoy the crowds. And like I said, this topic, I'm basing this somewhat off of like me. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people in this world who don't mind being to themselves, and some people don't know how dangerous that is, dog. That means if you violate that person, they won't hesitate to cut you off. You feel me? If you choose to disrespect that person, they probably won't go back and forth with you. They're just going to go ahead and show you something that you probably never seen before. Either go AWOL. They probably might say something to clear their name. They probably might see how you take a certain situation and drag it on. There's people who do things in different ways, and you just got to take a step back and ask yourself, yo, why is this person choosing trying to play with me? Or why does this person feel like I need them like that? That's where sometimes in life you got to show people. You feel me? Some people are very ego-driven, very ego-based, and they feel like just because, you probably want them around, that probably made them feel good about themselves. Because you got to understand, majority rule of people in life, they have an end goal. They're trying to use somebody or they're trying to get something out of somebody. So the mere fact that you're being genuine with that person or you're not begging them for anything, you just value them for who they are, that can inflate some people's head to where they feel like, you know what, maybe I'm the reason, maybe it's a benefit to be around me, maybe it's not a benefit for me to be around them. Let me see if I can run game on this person. Or because you got to understand something, and this is something very true when it comes to empathic people. When you're caring or people see that you have certain things about you that you're different, like an empath, and you're not giving them something that they're used to, that makes people tend to somewhat stop and think, maybe I'm special, or maybe this person doesn't know their value, so let me see if I can play with this person. Sometimes when people aren't used to something good, they don't know how to handle. They don't know how to handle it. So what they'll do is they'll go off, do something completely stupid, idiotic, that makes no sense. I'll give you an example into that, right? How it blends with this course. Let's say you're a person who chooses to be loving towards somebody, and that person has never experienced genuine love. That can screw with a person. That person can probably see, let me see how much I could test this love, or let me see how much I could see this person loves me, or what are they willing to do to prove their love for me. You got to understand that you keep playing games with people. Guess what? Games get tiring. And some people are not about playing games, dog. So they'll probably just cut you off or just leave you where you at. Go AWOL. Play like they're going to be right back. But you got to understand that the more that you play certain games to try and manipulate a person and not accept something for what it is, that's how you can kind of screw up your blessing in life. And I'm going to explain that, right? Because sometimes in life, we're not used to seeing everything. It's not like everybody's gotten a life lesson where it's like, hey, this is the definition of a loving person. This is the definition of a user. Everybody's life experiences is different. Some people were raised with parents. Some people were raised by their grandparents. Some people were raised through the streets. Some people were raised in different ways to where they experience certain things that you may not have experienced, but it's like they just like to test the waters to see what it is that they can get up out of you. You get what I'm saying? In different kind of ways, bro. That's whether you're a friend who cares. Let me see how much you care about me. Are you willing to help me with my problems, all of my problems? If so, I might just dump them on you. There are people who use these things in different ways to get where they want to be in life, but they're not stopping and looking at the bigger picture. If you never had somebody genuine with you like that, if you never had somebody who's that caring, who likes to be to themselves, and they take a vibe into you, or they're like, you know what, yeah, you could come around and this, that, and the third, that's not an opportunity to go burn the friggin' bridges, dog. And I'm telling you this right now. I've said this before. I don't know if some people caught it. I'll state it again. Do not be out here burning bridges if your ass cannot swim, dog. If you know you cannot build the bridge, your ass ain't on no Michael Phelps. The bridge done broke, nigga. I could swim from one island to the next. You better quit that shit, bro. Because I sit back and I laugh at this shit sometimes, right? I don't burn bridges with people, but I'm not afraid to burn bridges, if that makes sense. There's some people who burn bridges with others because they feel like you need me more than I need you. When that person was probably showing love or just being genuine with them. Do not take someone's genuineness or kindness and feel like you could roller coaster it for your own purposes and try and discard of them or try and see if that person's going to beg to be around you. That's some foul shit. You got to understand, some people are not like the next person walking around or like the people that you're used to hanging around. You cannot burn bridges with everybody and feel like you're going to come back around. I'm going to give you an example into me, right? If I choose to give you a chance after you probably tried me or whatever, that's a rarity. It's a rare thing if you're going to get a third go around with me, dog. When I was younger and more naive, certain people I'd be like, yo, they probably ain't know any better. Let me just see if, you get what I'm saying? I'd be the one to try and repair the bridge that I never broke. And that's something you need to understand as well, right? If you know you don't mind being to yourself, don't be so desperate or just so loving or to the point where you like to show you're loving and care for everybody. Make people work for that shit. You get what I'm saying? And make sure people consistent with it. You don't have to be nice to everybody, but being respectful is the correct way. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to be a person who chooses to go to the ends of the earth for somebody. You can choose to do that as an option. That's your superpower. So what I'm telling you is, if you know that you like to be to yourself, never come off or give people the connotation or the vibe like, oh, you're very important to the point where, yo, I'm willing to put you above myself. I mean, I'm not saying you do that, but there's some people, they're very warped in their mind. They think all kinds of ways and they feel like just because you want them around, that's an invitation for them to try you. That's not the game. You feel me? As well as that, right? It's best to be a person who offers peace and joy to people who like to be to themselves. And I'm going to explain that to you. And I could kill this whole topic right now with this one thing, right? To be a person who offers peace and joy, that means you're offering something that a lot of people cannot get. Peace and joy is something that's priceless. Money can't buy it. You feel me? So when some people feel like, oh, I'm friends with this person, or I could do this with this person, I could do this, or I could buy this person, or I could buy my way back into these people's lives. You have to understand something. I'm going to say it again. Not everybody moves or jumps for the same shit. You ever met a person, you could bribe them with money, and it's like they're ready to dance? Then there's some people, you try that money game with them and they'll look at you like you're a fucking dumbass because, yo, I got my own money. You get what I'm saying? You got to understand, some people are so desensitized to where they've met so many people in their life that they've gotten away with little stupid games that they feel like you're going to be another candidate that they could run that shit on. You got to learn how to tell people or show people you're not the fucking person to run that shit with. You get what I'm saying? As well as that, right? Look into it like this. When people run these games to try and manipulate you or see if you really need them around, they're literally giving you the rope or the scissors to cut the rope. I'm going to tell you why. Because if a person came in swinging like that, like Mike Tyson, like, I'm going to try and manipulate you, or, yo, this person's nice, let me see if I can manipulate them, that means that they have a lot of ill will on the inside. And you have to understand that some people are ugly spirited. It's not your job to be out here to give people chances who screwed you over or try and show somebody something different. You're not God, bro. People learn on their own. But at the same time, do not waste your time and do not waste the fact of, oh, I like being to myself, but I'm trying to show this person something. No. If a person is violating, do away with them how you need to. It depends on the violation. A person not choosing to respect you or your boundaries. A person popping up at your crib. A person feeling like they can ask you or beg you for certain things all the time. You got to learn how to put people in their place. I'm going to be real with you. A tactic I like doing sometimes, I like to low-key like shame people in a way, in a good way, so they feel a little bit like, damn, what the fuck was I doing? Give you an example, right? I know people who will try and call me and ask me like, yo, dog, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Please, bro. I feel so comfortable to ask you. You know what I tell people? Yo, I appreciate all of that, but I'm going to keep it real. You're a selfish ass person for doing that. Use certain words that really make it stick with people. Yo, I tell people the same shit, and when people really sit down and think about it, people feel stupid for asking me. Give you an example. I know somebody who like to ask me, yo, can you help me with this, bro? Can you send me this? Or, bro, I had to let the nigga know, like, bro, you know that you got a mother and a father, right? Yeah. You got grandparents, right? Yeah. I said, bro, I don't have none of that shit. You feeling comfortable to ask me, bro, like I'm a parent? And it's not like I overextended myself. I like to give people a little bit of rope before I cut you off right there and let you just swim. You feel me? When I presented the information to bro, he had to stop and think about it like, damn, bro, I got a mother and a father. I got a grandparent, grandmother. I got aunts and uncles I could really reach out to, but I'm leaning on my homie. And I let him know, bro, you a selfish ass nigga. I said, fool, G shit, I cut people off for that because you not stopping to think. Nigga, I just helped bury my mom. My dad is gone. I don't have that type of leg room or wiggle room like what you got. So the mere fact you feel good to come to me and ask me for something, or feel like you could try and lean on me or whatever, I got to shame you a little bit so you feel bad. And if you want to take it to another level, that's where really we're going to burn the bridge right there because you're not stopping to see. Some people, they feel like they can make you a lifeline in life, or they could try you on certain things. Or, you know what, this person likes to be to themselves, but they like having me around. Let me see how far I could push the boundaries. You have to stop. You got to stop doing that shit. The leeches and the users are growing by the day. There's a lot of people who have cut off a lot of people because of their ways, dog. Mind you, as I told you, I cut off my mom. I cut off a lot of people in my family, and it felt damn good. Don't be a person who's afraid to cut off people or tell people about themselves in a polite, respectful way if it means that they're crossing your boundaries and not respecting you. You know what I'm saying? That being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I'm going to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. 444 the world. Just remember this in life, bro. People who like to be to themselves, they're that way for a reason. Do not be a person who feels like you can manipulate a person or bully them into their space or bully your way into their lives. That's just going to put you in more problems, dog. Because peace, tranquility, all of that, that's priceless, bro. That's something you cannot find. You cannot buy that, dog. You get what I'm saying? So respect people who do have their boundaries set up in that aspect, who allow you in. Don't feel like you could try people because they're polite to you or whatever the case may be. You just might be burning a bridge. You feel me? 444 the world, man. Peace.